Now, let me just tell y'all a story. So I received a text message from an ex of mine talking about this Ciara video. It just like came out of nowhere. So I want to share with y'all this conversation real quick. So this was a text message I got yesterday. So I got this message from him. I got this message from him on Tuesday. And I replied today because at first I just laughed at it after I watched the video, like, haha. He has the understanding that I am this feminist individual, that I feel like I don't need a man. I'm this independent. I can do it all on my own. And which he's not all the way wrong, but I'll explain that a little bit more later. But I know that that's what's his intention in sending me this video. So that's why I laughed at it, because of her reaction to it. And I'll get into that. But I basically just texted him back today, like, thank you for sending the video. I had a good laugh, but I also had this insight and a question for you. Keeping in mind that my text messages are, they have errors. So I'll try to fix them after I read them. But this is the insight that I had. Like, I don't need a man. That need part to me implies that I am desperate and will settle for anything. I have a strong support system that meets my needs, and not one man has been able to do that for me so far. Be my complete support system without me having to be supportive on anyone else, be solely dependent on him. No man has been able to do that thus far. I said I often end up taking care of the men in my life and making their lives easy while they make my life hard. And I gave him the look in the eyes because, yes, I was talking about his ass. And I don't need that in my life, is basically what I'm saying. So, but I do want a man, an actual man that is up to my standards. I do have high standards for myself, and I have high standards for the people that's close to me, but I'm worth it. And he knows it. That's why I said that too. And then I had a question for him. I said, what can you offer me that I can't offer myself that makes me need you in my life on a daily basis? And he replied back, he said, I accidentally sent that to you. He said, I actually sent that to you on accident. My bad. But he said, I had to go back up and look and see what you were even talking about. And so I replied back, I said, no worries, it happened exactly as he needed to. I told him that he's always done a good job at helping me to define what I truly want in my life and what I don't. And I expressed gratitude and said, thank you. He said, I appreciate the kind words. I got what I needed, and I got what I wanted and needed from you. A beautiful daughter that's promised a great life. I picked you for a reason. Thank you. And I replied to him saying, so feel free to comment or share what your understanding of this conversation may be. But from my perspective, knowing this individual for 6+ years at this point, what he's insinuating to me is that he chose me because I'm an independent woman that can care for his child independent of him in the event that he cannot take care of her the way that he would like for her to be taken care of. So you chose me, you picked me for a reason because you know that she'd be promised a great life. But at the same time, since you and I aren't dating and you aren't promised that great life either, now all of a sudden I'm this man eater who hate Black men and don't want to have a happy family because I'm not in desperate need of you because you don't meet my standards as a man. As the man that I would want close to me in my vicinity on a daily basis. Well, let me go back. So even with the need and the want thing, I feel like it's very important to differentiate like those two words in particular, because from my perspective, they're very different. Like, I don't need that. To me, a need is something necessary to live and function. I don't need another person in my life to be able to live and function. Want is something that can improve my quality of life. So I want to have a man in my life that's able to improve my quality of life, but it's not something that I need. And using that criteria, like a need includes like food and clothing and shelter and like medical care. And wants pretty much include everything else. So, let's just stop there and play some video and I'll give my reaction to this video. Okay, so y'all can basically see this video. It's the same one that was texting me that I watched and what kind of led to my reply to him.
On today's episode of the foolishness that goes on, I'm going to be talking to you guys about this new song that apparently Ciara was trying to tease for us, dedicated to the women. And I would play the first clip of the song actually playing, but I'm not trying to, have no problems with her music and all that kind of stuff. So what I did was I took it upon myself to go ahead and tell y'all what the lyrics are. Okay. So the lyrics of this new song that she was teasing said, "This is for the girls getting money. This is for the girls that don't need no man. This is for the girls that's in love with themselves. This is for the girls that's independent." Okay. And one thing that I realized is that as much as people say, like, oh, these conversations don't make no sense, and oh, River, what is it that you're talking about? Because all these things that you're
I watched this video without watching Ciara's video. I was purely going off of my reaction. My text message to him, I was purely going off this video, my reaction to this video. But when I played the actual song, and I don't even know if I can do this on YouTube or they don't cut it out or whatever, but let's just play the actual song.
Play the girls from acapella up front on the first half, and then on the second half, drop the beat in.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
This is for the girls getting money. This is for the girls that don't need no man. This is for the girls that's in love with themselves. This is for all the girls that done did it by themselves. This is for all the girls that's INDEPENDENT. This is for all the girls that be living stress free. This is for all the girls on a mission like me. This is for all the girls around the world. This is for the girls. This for all the girls around the world.
Because CC and Russell was on my dream board for a reason. You know what I mean? So let me just show y'all this real quick. Like, they is up in here. Let me see. Boom. They right up in there. They're right up in there. They on my dream board. In 2022, I made this. This is my baby. I'm feeling them. So I kind of took a little bit of offense to that. Okay, I'll just say that. A little bit of offense. But did you hear that? Let me play that back one more time.
Get them money, sis. Keep them money, too. They be trying to press you, but you ain't pressed on. I'm way too far to be inside. I'm outside, having my own shit, booking my own trips. Don't ever let them disrespect you and call you out your name. You'll have these boys obsessed, they can't stop mentioning your name. I'm bad, I'm gorgeous, I'm very important. How you calling me a second? No, I'm 7 courses.
Of course, she is gonna be pressed by no individual just because they're pressing up on you. Be able to care for yourself. Be independent. Most men do not want, well, a real man, I would say, don't want somebody that's dependent on them. They don't want another dependent. You're not a child. Like, care for yourself. Be able to take care of yourself. That's what independence means. That's what I'm taking from this song, where she says, I don't need a man. I don't need him to live. I don't think she need Russell to live and function. She was doing that pretty much on her own. Like, she was doing that. She was doing that. She wanted that. That's why she prayed for it. She went into isolation, fell in love with herself, and then attracted Russell to her. Like, that's how that went. She manifested that. She had to go inside to fall in love with herself and learn from her lessons to implement things that showed that she loved herself. If you look at their relationship, her and Future broke up in 2014 after being together for 2 years. She met Russell 2015. They practiced celibacy until they got married. They got engaged March 2016. They got married July 2016. They had their first baby April 2017. They had a production company 2019. So when you're talking about wanting something that can improve your quality of life, most women, I think, that need a man or saying like, well, I'm tired of being independent, I just want a man. I think that's coming from the fact that you feel like you need them to function. And that's not something that I live by. So that's why I told him too, like, I don't necessarily need a man to live and function and be okay as a human being. Like, I'm okay by myself. And I feel like a lot of women who aren't necessarily in that space are in the space of like desperation or worthlessness, even in a sense, where they don't feel that they're capable of functioning on their own without the help of another individual. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be a man either. I think that relates to women who put their children as their life. Like, my children are my life, they give me purpose. It's like, so who would you be without them? Are you in love with yourself? That's important to know. Let me just play this song one more time. I can't wait. I'm gonna get this. Oh, I'm gonna play this ASAP.
Get them money, sis. Keep them money, tip. Never tryna press you, but you ain't pressed too. I'm way too far to be inside. I'm outside, having my own shit, booking my own trips. Don't ever let them disrespect you and call you out your name. You have these boys obsessed, they can't stop mentioning your name. I'm bad, I'm gorgeous, I'm very important. How you calling me a second? No, I'm 7 courses.
And that's another message that she sent too. This song ain't for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's for women who are aligned with the same mission that she is on, which is falling so deeply in love with myself that I'm able to attract the man that I want, that's for me. That I don't have to move around in this state of desperation, in this state of need. When I'm in a state of need and desperation, I'm willing to settle for whatever. That's what that says to me. That's what that says to me. And so this song is not for everybody. If you're not on the same mission as her, this journey of self-love, she said that when she prayed for this, she had to invite herself. That was 2014. They didn't start dating until 2015. She took all that time to heal from that space. She went and prayed, dropped down on her knees and prayed, like Cardi B did, mentioning that too. She prayed for that in isolation. What they did behind closed doors, y'all seeing the result of their greatness. It was great prior to that. They did the work behind closed doors. And y'all like, well, y'all, you need to tell us how y'all doing it. She wrote on, she's living it. She's living it out for you to see. Let me just play the rest of the video.